exclusion be removed? Yes, it can. Generally speaking, they can be removed if the client has gone treatment-free for a specified period of time that was designated by the underwriter during the underwriting process. Keep in mind that when I say treatment-free, that also means they have to go medication-free. In addition, it has to be documented in their medical records that there was positive change. In other words, something simple as someone's going to lose weight and the rating is going to be taken off their plan, or someone is going to go off antidepressants. It has to be documented in their medical records. They cannot arbitrarily decide to go off the medication or lose the weight and not have it documented anywhere. Because when you go through the process of the adjustment application, they have to be able to open your case up, get medical records, and see where exactly they can document that and offer you the possibility of getting the exclusion removed or the rating removed. Now, diagnosis challenges can have a huge impact on whether an exclusion is placed on a policy. I'm going to give you some examples of this, and before we start on that, I just want to make it clear. This is a service that LLIS provides in that Jenny or myself will contact the client at the designated time frame that the underwriter said. So in other words, if it was 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, we're going to go ahead and give them a call and ask them if they've gone treatment-free. And if they have, we're going to ask if they want to move forward with getting the exclusion removed. If they say yes, then we're going to send them the application, and that opens up the underwriting process all over again. And we've been pretty successful in that. Now, you must be asking yourself, what is she talking about? Diagnosis challenges can have a huge impact. Well, let me just give you some examples. We had situations where a client will go to a doctor or a patient will go to a doctor. And the premise of every medical visit has to be a diagnosis. If there isn't a diagnosis that's formulated at the time that that visit occurs, something's gone wrong in the doctor's office. The reason for the diagnosis is simply one of 4 situations. Further testing is needed, you're going to need a diagnosis code. A prescription needs to be written, you're going to need a diagnosis code. In order for the health insurance company to pay the claim, there has to be a diagnosis code. And lastly, the doctor has to document in your client's medical records what was the reason for the visit. Okay? So it's really important that we keep track of what the diagnosis was when the client went or the patient went to see the doctor. These are some examples where your client or the patient could possibly be visiting their doctor and have a conversation, something along the lines of, doctor asks, so how are you feeling? Oh, doctor, I don't know. I've been so anxious lately. I've got this huge project at work, and it has a deadline. I just don't know what to do with myself. Well, behind the scenes, the doctor could very well be saying, diagnosis is anxiety. Why? Because they're feeling anxious. Same situation, client can say, I don't know, I've just been suffering from these horrible headaches lately. I've got this huge project at work. I have a deadline. I just don't know what it is. The next thing you know, doctor's going to designate probably migraines. And what are they going to do? Maybe send you for an MRI, maybe write a script for you. In the instance of the anxiety, they may write an antidepressant for you. And lastly, someone could just be generally saying, I don't know, I've been having trouble sleeping lately. And again, the doctor's going to have to put a diagnosis code. And what's he going to put? Insomnia. So the next thing you know, the client could have a diagnosis of anxiety, migraines, or insomnia in your medical records, and you absolutely have no